Hello everyone and welcome back to Yearning, a gay story. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, or just jumping into this series, I suggest probably starting from the beginning, or playing through this completely blind. There will be links to the game in the description, along with link to support the dev, share with friends, spread the love. I think there's a sequel in the works. Maybe? Who knows? I need to check that out again. Now we attempt to remember to do homework, because I just was sitting in my bed going like, man, I didn't do any homework in this game. So let's see if we accomplish that. Saturday. You wake up early on Saturday and dutifully get dressed for the Q&A meeting. You're not sure why you've been going to them, but the opportunity to see James again is always nice. You shut the door quietly behind you as to not wake Adam. Dan's the only person in the room when you arrive. He's typing on his laptop and looks up when you enter. Antonio! He jumps up and gives you a hug. Fancy meeting you here. Liz G walks in and giggles. Liz B follows behind her. Cheating on James, Antonio? No! I wish. Wait, no. I want them both to cheat on each other with me at the same time. Okay? Liz B shakes her head. I'm pretty sure that's not cheating. Also, no. Also not here. Liz B starts going through a filing cabinet while Liz G and Dan sit on a couch. She wraps her arms around him and sighs happily. You take a seat on an empty couch. The room gradually fills with people. James walks in, sees you, and sits next to you, putting an arm around you. Hi. Wow. You lean against him and he kisses your head. Liz soon brings the meeting to order. It proceeds fairly quickly, with not too many agenda items, given the upcoming holiday. It's nice being close to James, though. And just a reminder that we're doing our annual Thanksgiving dinner again. For those of you here over the break, please sign up on the sheet by the door if you want to participate. And I think that's it for today. Go out and be fabulous, if that's your thing. People start to file out the room. Liz B sits down on the couch next to you. Surprised you're here today, James. Liz B sits on the arm of her couch next to her, and Dan squeezes in next to James. James scoots closer to you. Have to set up soon. But since when have I missed a meeting? Point. Have any Thanksgiving plans? James shrugs. Not really. Sex with Antonio? Dan! Not sure if I'll come to the thing here, though. I know parties aren't really your thing, but I'll probably be pretty quiet if it's anything like last year. Well, I know this will probably be a deal breaker for you, Jameson, but I won't be here. I'm going home this year. Are you going home, Antonio? Am I? Oh, apparently not. No, not worthwhile to fly home for such a short time, or no, but I wish I was. I kind of miss my parents. This is me. But is this Antonio? Probably. No, but I wish I was. I kind of miss my parents. Aww. Yeah, the first semester away is always the toughest. You can come join us here if you want. Just bring a box of cookies or something. Although I totally understand if you and James prefer to do something quiet on your own. Like each other. In the butt. Dan! Dan! Liz G giggles. I bet you're totally a... Oh god. I bet you're a total dom in bed, aren't you, Jameson? It's the quietest ones that are the wildest. I bet you like it to spank Antonio as if... Anyway, I need to leave. I expect you do too, James. James nods and stands, seemingly grateful. You stand next to him and he gently takes your hand and kisses you on the cheek. We'll message you later. Bye! He grabs his bag and heads out. Liz B shakes her head. Dan, I love you. Ew. But that was kind of rude. We all know you fantasize about sex with James, but that doesn't mean you need to be so vulgar to him about it, especially in front of Antonio. Fine, fine, I'm sorry. Go have hot wild sex and I won't talk about it. Liz G giggles, Liz B sighs. Good enough, I suppose. I do have to go though. We'll see some of you next week. She heads out and Liz G follows behind her. Dan sits back on the couch with his computer, decide to head back to your room. Found a collectible rainbow pen. A pen with a plastic rainbow-colored case. The rest of the day is fairly uneventful. You get some homework done and play some games with Jake, Hannah, and Nicole. James messages you in that evening, but he says he's too tired for anything that night. Oh. You glad you managed to spend some time with him at the meeting? Sunday. The rest of the weekend proceeds uneventfully. James ends up being busy most of the time thanks to his weekend being taken up by the shows. You find you're looking forward to Thanksgiving and the chance to spend more time with him. You play board games with the group on Tuesday. Nicole wins despite Hannah refusing to trade with him. You feel like there's still some lingering resentment there from their fight. Soon Thanksgiving is upon you. We might find out about that fight. With the things that I've slowly been learning how like some stuff plays out in the game, and it's like you hear about things, but you might not be involved with that thing, and then later on it like comes up. So let's see if this comes up, what their fight was about. You wake up late despite having gone to bed early the night before. Apparently you've been working harder than you thought. Adam is already up sitting at his desk studying. You get up and unlock your computer. Good morning, still on for today? Come by whenever. There's a knock on the door and you open it. Carlos walks in. Hey Antonio. He looks you over. Just wake up? Hell yeah. I thought you'd be helping them set up, dude. Carlos shrugs and sits down on your bed. Set up what? I don't know. Isn't there a bunch of stuff you set up for dinner? Carlos laughs. Right, I forgot you weren't here last year for this. Most people are gone, so Chef just makes a turkey and some stuff and dumps it in the buffet. Although I'm half expecting chicken this year instead. Adam laughs. That would be disappointing, but I suppose I wouldn't be surprised. Your phone rings, making you jump. You figure it's probably your parents and decide you don't really want to spend an hour on the phone with them at the moment. Are you going to get that, Antonio? Probably his parents again, wanting to know the color of the university's president's hat today. What? That's a what? Carlos shakes his head and the phone stops ringing. You should talk to them, Antonio. Just maybe call them later instead. I figure we could grab some breakfast and go see a movie or something before we head to the house. I think Antonio was going to spend the day with James. Aw. Carlos, what's that guy have that I don't? I mean, I like you too, but I got very committed to James. The fact that they're dating? Well, we could be dating. I'm pretty sure Antonio gets a say in that, and James right now. Carlos does an arm over your shoulder. What do you say, Antonio? Adam laughs and shakes his head. I love him too. I love Carlos. Dude, leave him alone. Breakfast and a movie sounds great. Have fun, Antonio. Use protection. Okay, Carlos. Adam shakes his head and follows Carlos out the door. You lock your computer and head to James's apartment. James opens the door as soon as you knock. The apartment smells like turkey. Hey. He shuts the door behind you, waits for you to hang your coat, and then grabs you, kissing you passionately. Sorry, you're distracting. Go sit on the couch. Almost done in kitchen. Fruit if you want it. Sorry, didn't think of breakfast. You grab a banana and sit on the couch, watching him throw a small pan of something green in the oven, where it looks like turkey breast is already cooking. He washes his hand and sits next to you, pulling you against him. Never done this before. Hopefully everything tastes okay. I got you something. He disappears into the bedroom and returns with a long, nondescript box. This is weird. I understand if you don't want it. Okay. Oh! You open the box. Inside is a large black dildo. Okay. I wasn't expecting this. Thank you? You look up at James and his face is red. Oh, wait. Is this preparation for when he tops? Because if that's the case, we down. This was a stupid idea. I just didn't know if you wanted, me. But I figured you could, make things less painful if you wanted that sometime. Oh god. But don't feel like you have to want that. He shrugs. This was stupid, I'm sorry. No, that's incredibly thoughtful of you. I would like you inside me eventually. Or, that's really thoughtful but I'm not sure how I feel about bottoming, or this is a little weird, but I appreciate the sentiment. No, that's incredibly thoughtful of you. Then he's kissing you, pushing you back until you're laying flat on the couch and laying on top of you. It's hot and his weight against you is comforting. You feel how turned on he is. He breaks and looks you in the eyes, breathing heavily. Can I have you now? Not that. You on top, I mean, He shakes his head. You're distracting. You're pretty sure you want nothing more right now either, and kiss him again. He laughs and rolls off of you, taking your hand and pulling you into the bedroom. He pulls off his shirt and watches you strip. You're beautiful, or handsome, I mean. Both are good. Sorry, 1 second. He disappears into the bathroom while you sit on the bed, feeling strangely vulnerable. The sound of running water distracts your thoughts. Soon he returns carrying a towel and not wearing much else. You notice that his boxers match his eyes. Sorry, didn't want to forget this time. Oh, the towel. He lays the towel on the bed and then climbs up next to you. Are you sure? You don't have to kiss him, I want this, and then when we think it'll be okay, I want you. Or, as long as you're sure, you're the one on the bottom after all. I like the middle one. I like the middle choice, but also like this one. The middle choice. I want this. And then when we think it'll be okay, I want you. He inhales sharply. God, yes. Then he's on you, kissing you and pressing against you. You fumble around and somehow manage to tug his underwear off of him. He breaks and grabs lube and a condom from his nightstand. Just, however you want. He's louder this time, and you'd almost be embarrassed if you didn't find it so hot. You finish inside him and he pulls you down and kisses you as he finishes between you. James wipes the two of you off with the towel afterwards before carefully folding it and dropping it on the floor. You throw the condom out in the trash. You lie together afterward, your head on his chest, arms around each other. Thank you. Thank you, or just wait until I'm ready for you. I'm so tempted. Just wait until I'm ready for you. He stills for a moment. That shouldn't be as, exciting as it is. He angles your head upwards and kisses you again, pulling you on top of him. He's turned on again, somehow. He breaks and laughs. Sorry, we should probably not lie here too long, though. Should make sure I can hear the timer. You reluctantly get dressed, watching James do the same. He laughs and kisses you again. It's okay, I, like when you look at me like that. Aww. The two of you make your way back out to the living room and sit on the couch again. Smash Brothers? You play a few rounds of Smash. James is really good and soundly beats you. Haven't played in a while, kind of rusty. Used to play this a lot. The timer goes off and James returns it to the kitchen, moving a pan and sticking a pie in instead. Think I made too much food. Never enough food. He sits next to you again. Can probably eat soon. Sorry so early. One more round? You play another round of Smash and manage to do better, although James still wins. Kind of miss video games. Used to play a lot more in middle school. No time anymore. Should get new screen name, maybe. The timer goes off again and James pulls the turkey out of the oven. Sit at counter? Food should be ready. You take a seat at the counter and he fills a plate for you. The pan turns out to be green bean casserole. Sorry, only 2 things, and pie. He takes a seat next to you and surveys the kitchen. Already too much food, though. I'll do what I can. Too bad Jake isn't here, or don't be sorry. This is amazing, or you didn't have to make anything. I just wanted to spend time with you. You didn't have to make anything. I just wanted to spend time with you. Thank you. That's nice too. The food is delicious, and it must show because he watches you eat and laughs before scooping some more green beans onto your plate. Soon you're both stuffed. James pulls the pie out of the oven and you both stare at it. Maybe pie later? Want to watch something first? Voyager or Battlestar? Wasn't we talked about Battlestar? I don't know. Battlestar? Sounds good. He pops the disc in and the two of you sit on the couch. He pulls you against him and puts his arm around you. Watch a couple of episodes before James slices the pie and brings you a slice with ice cream. Oh god. You eat the pie together over another couple of episodes. Soon the disc is finished, and James looks at the kitchen. Should have done dishes, sorry. He returns to the kitchen with your pie plates, putting away the food and washing the dishes. You help him and it doesn't take very long. He dries his hands afterwards and looks at you. Want to go somewhere? Feel like I always drag you here and monopolize you. Was thinking of seeing who's at Q&A since Dan is gone, but can't do whatever. I like spending time with you in your apartment is nice, but whatever you want, or that sounds like it could be fun, or I don't have any better ideas, let's go see Liz and Liz. That sounds like it could be fun. He nods. James grabs the pan of casserole from the fridge and the two of you head to the Q&A room. Liz and Liz seem to be alone in the room when you arrive, sitting at a couch and talking. James! She jumps up and gives him a hug. James actually looks like he doesn't mind. Antonio! She gives you a hug too. We didn't think anyone else would be showing up today. No one signed up anyway. James sets the pan on the table before sitting on a couch. You sit next to him. Sorry, just finished eating. Liz G giggles. Each other, I bet. Babe. I had some turkey frozen dinners I was going to heat up. I bought some green bean casserole. Ooh, that sounds delicious. She lifts the foil off the pan and looks at it. This looks weird. Have you not had this before, babe? No, it seems good though. Liz disappears to grab the frozen meal as well. Liz dumps a large serving of beans onto a plate and sticks it in the microwave. So how was your day? James shrugs and pulls you closer to him. Bet you two had sex all morning. She looks at you. That's what I'd do if I had a boyfriend that looked like that, and if I liked penises. Liz returns with a couple of boxes. Babe, be nice. It's a compliment. Uh-huh. I think you've known James long enough by now. Liz grabs her beans from the microwave and sits on the couch next to James, taking a bite. Oh, these are good. Let me try. Liz feeds her a forkful and she chews thoughtfully. Oh, these are really good. What did you put in them, James? Semen. Babe. Cream of mushroom, pepper, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce. They don't tell me how to pronounce this name. Don't at me! Huh? Is that how you say that? That must be it then. Liz B tosses a tray of turkey in the microwave while Liz G eats. I was thinking we could watch a movie or something. Saw! I don't think the club library has that film, babe. It does too. Liz puts down her plate and goes over to the shelves, pulling out a movie. Okay. I don't think that's a terribly appropriate movie for right now, though. Or ever. Something classic? The Lion King! Oh, that would be good. Want to get it, babe? While I finish heating these for us? James moves to the couch in front of the TV and you sit by him again, leaning into him. He sighs happily. Liz pops the movie in, grabbing her plate of beans. Liz sits next to her with a tray of turkey. The movie is a bit darker than you remember, although it's still really good. Soon it's over, and Liz G stands and stretches. That was really nice. I wish Disney still made movies like that. James looks at the clock. Should probably go do work. Work on your boy, babe. James kisses you gently. Staying here? Actually, I don't mind heading out myself, but don't let that stop you from hanging around, Antonio. You figure you should probably head home anyway, so you and James head out together. Thank you for today. Forgot that the thing is still at my place, if you still want it. Can bring it to you tomorrow if you want. He walks you back to your room and kisses you again, outside your building. See you tomorrow, hopefully. No show due to break. We'll message you. You found a collectible. Black dildo! A black dildo that looks uncomfortably large. Okay. Adam is there when you return, sitting at his desk staring at the wall. He looks over at you and nods as you enter. Everything okay, or did you have a nice day? Everything okay? He shrugs. I guess. Just feel kind of like you don't fit in, I guess. But really, it's nothing. Just letting stuff get to me. How was your day? Have a nice time with James? It was really nice. He made turkey and green beans, and we played games and watched some shows. Or, it was nice spending time with him. It was really nice. He made things, and we played games, and we watched shows. It was cool. That sounds fun. It's always nice spending time with people you care about. He picks up a book and starts reading through it. You unlock your computer. Wow, Janet. The wall of text, my eyes just went like, what? Happy Thanksgiving, Antonio. You and James get it on all day. Did I tell you no shows this weekend? It's frustrating, actually, since we just had our first shows. Everyone's itching to go again, and now we have to wait a week. Oh, Tom's calling me. BRB. Back, but I guess you're still not. Signed off. You spend a bit of time getting a head start on homework. The phone rings again, and you feel like you probably shouldn't avoid your parents again. Adam laughs and puts on his headphones as you answer. Antonio, we missed you this morning. I was worried. Honey, you just talked to him a few days ago. But it's his first Thanksgiving on his own. Did you get enough to eat? I was going to mail you a turkey. Mom! Oh my god, you had it boxed up and everything! Mom! But then I decided... You mean I decided for you, Dad. We decided that you could probably just get one there if you needed. And I wasn't sure if you would be able to cook it anyway. I should send you a deep fryer. But those things are dangerous, and I don't want you lighting yourself on fire. You should get an apartment with an oven. These Storm's ovens are dangerous. You can practically see your dad shaking his head over the phone. Did you have a nice Thanksgiving, Antonio? Spend it with James? Spent it with James. He made turkey and beans and pie for us, or it was nice, spent it with friends. Spent it with James. Why am I lying? Oh good, I'm glad you're dating someone that eats properly and knows how to cook. That's important, you know. You need to learn to cook if you're going to get yourself a nice girl. Or a nice guy. You know what I mean. You talk for them for a while before your dad pulls your mom off the phone and to let you do homework. You look at the clock, surprised at how late it is, and you decide it's time for bed instead. You find you're unexpectedly tired from the day and fall asleep quickly. What day? You spend Friday with James and the rest of the weekend hanging out with Adam, Carlos, and Hannah. He does bring you the dildo along with a bouquet of flowers and still seems embarrassed about the whole thing. You still think it's actually remarkably considerate of him and tell him so. You think he really appreciates that. You try using it when Adam is out at the gym and it's uncomfortable, but it just makes you want him even more. Oh god. Hannah and Adam seem to get along really well, and it makes you wonder why you never thought of really introducing them before. Have we introduced them before? We haven't hung out, right, with Adam and Hannah together. You get a head start on your workload for the next week and study for finals. Adam seems to avoid the frat house more than usual. You're not sure you want to ask him about it. He does, however, get tickets to the show on Saturday and tells you that it was excellent. James tells you he's much happier with the leads than he was on opening weekend. Oh. Carlos mostly hangs around you and Adam over the weekend, saying that the house is lonely with so many people gone. Carlos complains to Adam that Elliot isn't responding to him. Adam shrugs it off, but you can tell he knows more about it. You managed to talk to Janet a few times over the weekend, but she's mostly busy with her show. She tells you she's really enjoying it despite the hectic schedule, but that she'll also be glad when it's over. Jake, Dan, Nicole, and Nate return at different times on Sunday. You meet up with Jake, Nicole, and Hannah and Nate for board games after dinner, and Jake insists on Power Grid. Nate seems to make an effort for Jake, but ends up losing by a lot. He seems pretty frustrated by it. The rest of the week flies by and everyone seems to start preparing for finals. Finals, I didn't do homework. You unfortunately don't see much of James. He apologizes but says that his last show is Sunday, and that he'll have more time after that. You walk out of class on Friday, feeling both relieved that classes are over but filled with dread at the prospect of finals the next week. Carlos and Adam are waiting outside the building for you. Antonio! Carlos convinced me that we should see a movie tonight instead of studying. You're welcome to join us. No, we're forcing you to join us, Antonio. Come on! Adam sighs and shakes his head. Dude. The three of you head to the yard. Looks like they're a little busy tonight. Antonio! We're going to see a movie tonight. Oh, us too. You should join us. The five of you get a table. Pineapple jalapeno pizza. Huh? Can't say I've ever considered that combination before. It's really good. Even though I hate jalapeno. It's only the best thing ever. Liz G giggles. Peppers give me fiery shits. Dan laughs. That's a lie. Girls don't poop. Oh god. Well, at least two of them do. When there's a cup around. Oh no! We can order two different pizzas. I think Antonio would appreciate something different anyway. Maybe sausage and mushrooms? I'd do that. I'm down. Adam orders the pizzas and some salad for the table. Psh, salad. It's healthy. We're rabbits. Suit yourself. So how goes finals prep? It doesn't. Dude. Yeah, I'll study, Chico. This weekend. Sometime. I only have one, but I have lots of projects to do instead. I think I'm ready for mine. They're all later in the week at least. Chico here has been doing nothing but studying lately. That's not true. And sleeping. And eating. I had to force him to take a break this evening. Well, there's a lot to go over, dude. Yeah, because you totally don't already know it all. Well, I want to be sure that I do. You're like Liz. She's been studying a lot recently, too. I figured D is for diploma, right? I figured D is for diploma, right? Yeah, I think my parents would kill me if I came home with a D. But projects are less stressful than exams, at least. The food's in a rise. The pizza, as always, is delicious. Can I, ask you a question, Dan? What's up? Are you and Liz dating? You... Dan laughs. Definitely not. Okay, are you gay? Adam chokes on his pizza and Carlos hits him on the back while Dan laughs. You know, people would consider that a rude question. Sorry, I just... No, it's fine. I'm not a lot of people. I just do a lot of people. In the butt, where those people are men. Dan! Liz G giggles and Adam drinks his water, shaking his head. Why do you ask? Antonia have been talking about things, but I was kind of, I don't know. I know it, you're totally, Daniel, language, that's rude! Sorry, Nate and I just, you're totally gay though. Carlos coughs and looks like he wants to disappear. Hey, I am too. Most of the people at this table are, but sorry, you're gay and want to meet more gay people and generally find yourself, right? Carlos shifts uncomfortably. Something like that. Dan, I'm channeling Liz today, but you're making him really uncomfortable. Sorry, I totally know what you're feeling. You should come to the Q&A sometime. Antonio's mentioned that before. What is it? It stands for Queer and Allies. Although in practice they're pretty much all queers and no allies. Liz G giggles. Everyone there is friendly. If anyone gives you shit, my girlfriend will shut them down. I think it's a nice way to meet people. Maybe. We meet every Sunday morning around 9. Although I think tomorrow's is the last scheduled one for the year. You should come by. 3rd floor of the student center. Soon you finish eating. Let me get this. We should split the check. Always gonna do this. Let me get it. Okay, Mr. Moneybags. Dan laughs. I don't mind. Thank you, Antonio. The 5 of you head to the movie theater together. So, what do we feel like tonight? Dude, there's a new Van Wilder movie. How about not? Actually, that sounds like it could be good. I guess there's not really anything else that looks better. I don't particularly want to see Casino Royale again. The 5 of you buy tickets and walk into the theater. It's remarkably busy. Busy in here today. Not sure we'll find 5 seats together. Well, there's some in the front, but I don't think any of us want to sit up there. I think I see a group of 3 over there in the middle. Sit with Adam and Carlos, or sit with Dan and Liz? Oh, I want to sit with the best boys. Not that Dan and Liz aren't the best boys, but like, my best boys. I can sit with Adam and Carlos. That works. See you afterwards, Antonio. You grab the set of 3 seats with Adam and Carlos. Nachos, popcorn. Nachos, hot dogs, nachos, nachos. Nachos. Be back in a bit. He leaves to get the food. This'll be great. The first movie was so good. Van Wilder is such a great character. Sequels have a tendency to be less good than the original are. I hope so too. The original was a pretty great movie. You know what? Let's just go with that. He laughs. That's an understatement. Anna returns with the food shortly after the lights dim and the previews start. The movie itself ends up being rather terrible. You keep glancing over at Carlos. He looks utterly dejected. After a total predictable and cliche ending, the credits roll and the lights turn back on. Carlos shakes his head. Dude, what was that mess? Sequels are never good as the original, dude. What about Toy Story? I'm pretty sure that's the exception to the rule. The 3 of you head out and meet up with Dan and Liz outside the theater. Toga outfit. A white sheet intended to be worn as a That was so terrible. Tell me about it. I'm so happy right now. We like watching terrible sequels to see how badly they manage to screw up the film and franchises. Carlos shakes his head and wanders off. I'm gonna go. It was nice spending the evening with you two. You bid Dan and Liz goodnight and follow Adam. Oh well, I don't really know why I'm so bent out of shape. It's just a movie. It's been a stressful semester, dude, especially for you. Carlos sighs and runs a hand through his hair. Yeah, it has. I guess I don't know. Still had a nice evening, right? Yeah, I guess. He sighs. Sorry, I kind of just want to go to bed. Want us to walk you back, dude? No, it's fine. Go study or whatever. No, let us walk you back. If you're sure, dude. I'm sure. Thanks, Chico. Good night. Carlos heads back towards the house and Adam shakes his head. I'm sorry about him sometimes, but I'm glad he has people he can talk to at least. I mean, he talks to me, obviously, but I mean about things that I don't have any particular insight into. He sighs. Thanks, Antonio, for being there for him too, in your own way. It's probably not really fair to you, but I'm glad you two are friends. Oh, what was that? What was that feeling? It was friendship. The 2 of you head back to your room. You spend the rest of the night studying for finals alongside Adam. Saturday. You wake up early on Saturday to a knock at the door. Adam groans and pulls his pillow over his head. You open the door to find Carlos. Hey, Antonio. Carlos, it's too early for breakfast, or running. Actually, I was, curious about Q&A. I wanted to see if you'd go with me, Antonio. Oh, I will. I'm gonna go with you. That's a good idea, actually. Antonio had to drag me along when he wanted to go the first time. You've been to Q&A, Chico? As moral support, but yeah. You figure you should help Carlos in whatever way you can and agree to go with him. You quickly get dressed and head to the student center together. He stops you in the hallway, pulling your arm. Why am I so scared, Antonio? I felt the same way my first time, but everyone is friendly, or don't be scared, everyone is friendly, or man up, Carlos. I felt the same way my first time, but everyone is friendly. Thanks, Antonio. That's actually somewhat comforting. You walk into the room with Carlos. It's already full of people. Antonio and Carlos! He jumps up and gives each of you a hug. James nods at the two of you from his seat on the couch. You sit next to James on the couch, and Carlos sits next to you, looking extremely uncomfortable. James takes your hand in his and squeezes. Liz brings the meeting to order. It's pretty uneventful, mostly involving discussions on resources and meetups for people remaining on campus over the break. Soon it's over and most of the people file out. Dan sits on the arm of the couch next to James, who scoots closer to you. You made it, Carlos. I guess. Goodness, you still look absolutely petrified. I was about to say, like, he looks so frightened. Reminds me of you, Antonio. Oh god. Babe. I'm Liz. That's also Liz. That's James. Looks like you've met Dan already. James stands and grabs his bag. Time to go. Only 4 more shows. Bye, James. He hands Carlos a piece of paper. Let me know if you want to talk. Jameson has a crush. Tisk. With Antonio right there, too. Not hitting on you, just talking. Is that what you're calling it nowadays? Oh my god, please! Back off! I will punch all of you! Very softly, and then kiss it better. James shakes his head and kisses your cheek. Talk to you tonight. Thanks. He heads out and Dan sits in the same spot. So you could, talk to James, or the two of us could get more, intimate. Dan! Ahem. Conversation. What do you think I was going to say, Liz? The two of you can talk in here all you want, but take your conversation somewhere else. You should see someone about that, Liz. I should get going as well, actually. Study group to make. Liz G hugs you, Dan, and Carlos. Bye, Antonio, Dan, Carlos. Seriously, Carlos. No sex in here. I should probably go too. Well, offer's always open. That applies to you too, Antonio. No, it's not, Dan. Should probably get some of this paper done myself. Carlos quickly excuses himself and you follow him back to your room. Habanero. The rest of the weekend ends up being full of studying, both individually and with Jake, Nicole, and Hannah. Hannah freaks out about her progress, insisting that she's going to fail everything. Jake seems to be similarly driving himself crazy. Nicole calms the two of them down a bit by quizzing them. Naturally, the three of them have all of the material down already. You're actually feeling pretty confident yourself. Still, you're glad you have friends you can study with. Carlos actually sits with you in your room and makes some effort at studying. Adam seems pleased by the effort, although he's less impressed when Carlos fails his pop quizzes. Carlos complains that Adam's questions go too far back in material from earlier in the year. Adam just sighs and shakes his head. James ends up being busy the rest of the weekend, with finishing up his shows and final classwork. You talk a bit online, but don't manage to meet up. You hope he ends up being more free during finals weeks itself. Dan ends up being busy the rest of the weekend as well with his final projects, which honestly leaves you a little relieved. Carlo does, however, ask you to put him in touch with Dan. You try not to imagine the two of them having sex, and mostly succeed at it. Okay. You and Janet talk about finals, and she seems pretty confident, but also excited that her shows are ending. You secretly are too. You miss talking to her more frequently, but are comforted by the thought of seeing her in person in a week. You actually take your finals throughout the following week. Unfortunately, studying for the next one ends up consuming most of your time during the week, but you don't feel like you do badly on any of them. That was all the text that I was just like bleh. Walk out of your last final Friday afternoon. Glad you're finally done, but somehow dreading your flight tomorrow and being away from James for so long. You head back to your room to see if anyone else is free. Oh, to your surprise, James is there, sitting on your bed, talking with Adam. You wonder how he managed to tolerate the messy state of your dorm room, and you suddenly feel very self-conscious that you didn't make your bed this morning. He smiles when you enter, standing and kissing you gently, but you can tell he's uncomfortable. Sorry about the mess, or it's mostly Adam's clothing and stuff, or hey, this is a nice surprise. It's between sorry about the mess and hey, this is a nice surprise. Sorry about the mess. James shrugs and Adam laughs. It's mostly my stuff anyway. Antonio actually knows how to use a dresser and shelves. Oh, got you some granola bars for the fly. Aw, figured more practical than flowers now. He nods at a box on your desk. And, Voyager? I'll see you tonight, Antonio. Good seeing you again, James. James nods and takes your hand. The two of you head to his place. It's nice to be done, but will be weird to be away from you all break. Why, it's not like we see each other very much anyway? Oh my god, that's mean. Yeah, we'll still talk online though, right? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Of course. He smiles and takes your hand again. I, auditioned for the first show next semester. Oh, awesome. Hope you get a lead part so you can't complain about the leads again, or oh, awesome, what part, or I didn't realize that was happening already, but I assumed you would. Congrats? Or does that mean you'll be busy again next semester? Oh, awesome, what part? Lead role again. Lots of work, but really enjoyable. We'll see if I get it. You arrive back at his place. He hands his coat up and kisses you gently. Okay if we snuggle and watch for a bit before dinner? Really? Last time we'll cheat each other for a while and no sex? Or that sounds perfect, or sounds good to me. That sounds perfect. He nods and kisses you again before putting on a Voyager desk. You sit next to him on the couch and he puts his arm around you, pulling you against him. You watch a couple of episodes before he looks back at the clock. Should make dinner, probably. He gets to the kitchen and peers into the fridge. Not much left. Didn't buy groceries because of break. Pasta with some leftover veggies, okay? Yeah. He puts on a pot of water to boil and rejoins you on the couch. The two of you watch another episode, with periodic pauses for him to make the pasta. Soon it's finished and he brings a couple of bowls of food to the couch. You find this surprising, and he notices your expression and shrugs. Just don't spill anything. You finish up the episode and the food and sit with each other afterwards, staring at the episode selection screen. This is really nice, but should probably wash the dishes. Help him or watch him. I'm gonna help him. You help him with the dishes. Soon you're done and the two of you sit back down on the couch. He smiles and kisses you gently before pulling you closer to him. It's nice not to have anything to do for a bit. Although if I get part, should start learning lines over break. When do you find out? Or I'll run lines with you when you get back next year? Or shut up, of course you'll get the part. I'll run lines with you when you get back next year. I'd like that. The two of you sit there for a bit, holding each other. You feel yourself drifting off to sleep. James kisses your forehead gently, bringing you back to reality. Should probably sleep. Early flight tomorrow for me, but thank you. He walks through your door and kisses you again after you put on your coat. Have a nice break. We'll talk online. Get back to your room. Granola bar. An oatmeal and raisin granola bar. Adam is there, stuffing his laptop and some stuff into a backpack. Hey Antonio, hope you had a nice evening. You chat with Janet online for a bit, who seems especially excited to see you the next day before packing up some things herself and heading to bed. You have unlocked additional features in Jane's character profile. Oh, I wonder what that's about. 2 years later? Is this the end? Are we at the end? Monday, October 13th, 2008. You make your way to the yard to meet James. You'd moved in with him at the beginning of your junior year, figuring things were going well and you were practically living there anyway. He learned to tolerate some of your messes, although he still gets upset when you forget to put down a towel before sex. You don't forget often anymore. You prefer snuggles over sex instead of watching him launder the sheets. You stop and check the time. Running late. He hates that. For some reason you're nervous. Anniversaries make you nervous. For your first anniversary, you welcomed him home wearing a Star Trek uniform. What? What? Oh my god. You welcomed him home wearing a Star Trek uniform top with no pants. You couldn't sit properly for the next day. Wow. He apologized and you could tell he was horrified, but you found it amazingly hot. His schedule was busy this year, like usual, so you agreed on a quick dinner at a place you both knew you liked. You approach the restaurant and see him waiting out front. He sees you and his face lights up. Oh, look at you! You still think he's the most handsome guy in the world, even after 2 years. Especially after 2 years. Hey. He's nervous and you don't know why. Is he... I swear, if this ends in proposal, I'm gonna die. It's just dinner, right? Not a date? He laughs. Change of plans. They're full. You look through the window. They don't look full. He interrupts you with a kiss and you lean into him, hands around him. He still takes your breath away. He breaks and smiles. I have a better idea. He leads you to the center and to the door of the Q&A room. Go ahead. The lights are off inside. He opens the door and pushes you through, his hands lingering an extra few seconds on your butt. You blink in the darkness, trying to focus on something. You're blinded by the light suddenly switching on. Oh, look at you guys! A small group of Q&A people are in the room, with what seems to be a bottle of sparkling grape juice and champagne glasses. Surprise! Liz G giggles. You look like a deer in headlights right now. You can probably see about as well as one too. What's going on? Turn around. Oh my god! I'm dying! You do and see James down on one knee, holding an open ring box in his hand. Oh my god! Damn it. I totally rehearsed this too. Dan laughs. Wing it, dude. He smiles and looks into your eyes. Marry me? Yes, of course it's the most logical course of action. Or kiss him. I want to do the second one. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's the most logical course of action. Go. You didn't think he could look at you with any more love than he has already, but you find you were wrong. He wordlessly stands, grabs you, and kisses you passionately. You melt into him, wrapping your arms around his neck. Someone whistles behind you. You don't care. He breaks and holds your head against his chest. You can feel his heartbeat. You can feel him smile above you. Indeed. So, this probably doesn't fit. You don't wear jewelry, so I had to make a guess. He slips the ring on your finger. It's a little too big. We'll get one in the right size. He pulls another one out of his pocket. What? What? I hope you don't mind me wearing mine now. Oh my god, please. You slip his onto his finger and hold his hand. You don't want to stop looking at him. So, congratulations, you two. Engagement sex. Oh my god, Dan! Liz G giggles. No engagement sex. Well, no engagement sex here, at least. Not that I'm in charge anymore, but still. There's condoms in that drawer. And lube, just... Oh god, he runs around the room trying to avoid Liz, who is trying to kiss him. Come on, Danny Pooh. Come give me a kiss. Liz, get your fiancé off of me. Oh my god, they're gonna- oh my god! Oh my god! He runs at the door, Liz G just laughs. We'll give you two some privacy. No engagement sex. She grabs Liz's arms and files out with the rest of the people. And so, Dan pops his head back in the door. Engagement he disappears down the hall, Liz chasing after him again. James shakes his head. So, hi. He laughs. I really did have this entire thing memorized. I love you. I can't imagine my life without you. Yada yada yada. But, you seem to have a way of making me lose my mind, in all of the best ways. He pulls you closer to him and you can feel him against your leg. He's hard. Kind of like right now. Maybe we could skip the sparkling juice and go home? For engagement sex? James laughs. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Oh my god. James graduates that year and moves to Los Angeles, setting up a comfortable apartment for the two of you. You visit him when you can, but the distance is still hard. He manages to land a lead role in a new TV series that turns out to be surprisingly successful. Watching him on TV somehow makes the distance more bearable. Still, you gain a newfound appreciation for the wonders of Skype. And for phone sex. When you graduate and finally move in with him, it feels like neither of you leaves bed for a week. You manage to land a programming job where you can work remotely. You spend many days in his trailer on set, working while listening to and watching him rehearse. He says you're too distracting, but you can tell he wouldn't have it any other way. You have a wedding ceremony later that year. Dan invites himself, and James shakes his head, but you can tell that he's glad he made it. You make it legal 3 years later, immediately after the court ruling. Neither of you get any sleep that night. You and Janet keep in touch, even as you gradually grow apart oh my god. We're getting, oh my god, these are like those title cards. What are those cards? Card and shit things? Tapestries, these tapestry things. I love them. I wonder how bad and well I did. You and Janet keep in touch, even as you gradually grow apart over the years. She and Tom break up towards the end of her sophomore year. He spent a lot of time talking to her over the phone and supporting her, but in the end she agrees it was for the best. She switches majors after deciding that being a drama major was ruining her love for acting and manages to graduate on time with a major in economics. She ends up working for a small finance company in Maryland and starts dating a guy she met at her local drama group. Wow, they get married after less than 6 months of dating, which raises some eyebrows, but she assures you he's the one. They start a family together and she names you godfather to her kids. Oh. The two of you never lose touch, always making time to see each other. You particularly enjoy spending time with her growing family. Oh. Anna and Nickel break up, surprisingly amicably, but no one's surprised, shortly after returning from winter break. Games are awkward for a while, but the two of them seem to enjoy each other's company enough that things are soon back to normal. Hannah swears off dating, throwing herself into class instead. She takes a double, then triple major in mathematics and Japanese. Nickel dates a few women through the years, but none of them seem to be serious. Jake tells you he thinks none of them can live up to Hannah in Nick's mind. Oh. Nate and Jake well, I didn't realize. Nate and Jake continue dating to everyone's surprise. Your junior year, they show up to the games with matching rings. Hannah squeals so lightly that you get kicked out of the student center. Nate graduates that year and takes a job at a financial company in New York. You can tell the distance is rough on Jake, but they make it work somehow. Jake tells you that Nate really hates his job though, and he's trying to convince him to move to San Francisco with him after graduation. Oh my god, my heart! Liz and Liz get married in 2008 in a small ceremony at a restaurant near campus. They invite you to the wedding and tag along with Dan and James. You convince James to dance with you. You keep catching him looking at you and running his fingers over your ring. He tells you he wishes he could marry you legally. Somehow you find that incredibly hot and end up making out with him in a quiet corner. You don't think he minds. Nate crashes the wedding and he and Dan sneak off to the back. You think you have a better time without them anyway. You bring it up to Jake afterwards, but he just nods as he's already aware of the situation and quickly changes the subject. Liz graduates in 2008, and Liz rushes to finish her master's degree before the two of them move to New York. Liz gets a job designing women's clothing. Liz takes a job managing a bank. They make their marriage official in 2011, the day after it becomes legal there. That's gay. I realized this shirt, oh my god. Dan graduates on time in 2009. His book, 50 Things I Would Do to You, ends up being a hit to everyone's surprise. He moves to New York and continues writing, producing 2 sequels, 50 Things More I Could Do to You and 50 Things I Could Do to Your Dad! Oh my god! You feel like he's trolling with the last book, but it somehow sells well anyway. He buys a nightclub in the city with his royalties and really seems to enjoy the company and the sex. Elliot never returns to the university, although you hear that he eventually gets a clean bill of health, which Adam still finds amazing. He enrolls at a smaller local college to be closer to home, and eventually graduates and gets a job with Glad in New York. Anna, Nickel, and Jake graduate with you. The 3 of them move to San Francisco to form a startup around social media analysis. You keep up with them via IM and online board games. Nate eventually moves out to join them. You manage to make a few trips to see them. On one of those trips, Jake and Nate seem to be missing. Hannah laughs and tells you they spontaneously decided to fly to New York and get married. Oh my god, my boss! Look at you two! Oh my god! Adam moves to San Francisco after he graduates to attend med school at UCSF. You don't manage to talk much, his schedule being completely crazy. Carlos follows him, having reluctantly completed his degree in biology a year late. He lands a job in the administrative department of the hospital, needing the work to states. You and Carlos keep in touch by email, and you're glad to still be part of his life in some small aspect. He spends most of his free time on the limited beaches in the city, and he often complains to you that he wishes Adam had gone to school in San Diego instead. Still, you can tell he enjoys Adam's limited company enough that he didn't really mind the rest. Oh my god. As seen on TV. Oh, is that the achievement for, like, getting an ending with James? A collectible golden ring. A plain-looking wedding ring made of gold. Diploma with honors. Did I do it? A diploma from the university that indicates you graduated with honors. Tongue depressor. What tongue is this? Because we got, I don't know. Work anniversary pen. A wooden pen received as a gift from your manager for your 10-year work anniversary. Oh wow. You have unlocked a game difficulty option in the preferences. You have unlocked the placeholder sprite style in preferences. Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! The end. Oh wow! Look at him! He's so handsome! Oh my god, that was so good! But apparently you unlocked something with James. Oh. 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 I see. Oh, he has glasses on! Oh! So, like usual, I originally ended the video pretty badly. It happens. I was just like, oh my god, this game is so great, it's so good. I need to think about it, and I have had time to think about it. I highly recommend it if you want to know what you might get yourself, or like what the other romances are. Like, please download the game. It's free. Tell your friends to play it if you can, if it's possible. Please share this game. Support the dev. If you donate a few bucks, you could get some extras. The link to donate and to like download the game is in the description. I don't know when the next LP will be up, so subscribe, turn on notifications if you don't want to miss that, and if you have any game suggestions, leave a comment. I'll look into what you suggest, or I'll save it for whenever I do have the money to buy the game that you suggest. This game is so good, and I'm so excited for the sequel. Play this game, guys. Support the dev. Show the dev some love. Just go. Do that for me. Thanks. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.